I've been here just a little over 36 years. It's been quite a while in it, but it seems like it's gone really quick now that I look back at it. I think when you have a lot of things to do every day, time just goes by quickly. Well, initially I was going to go into or study architecture, and I wanted to build houses and buildings. But in my last year of high school, our high school got a personal computer. Didn't look like the personal computers we have now. It was a huge machine. But I got the opportunity to write some software for it, and that got me hooked. Well, in the early days, when I was hired as a software developer, I would come in the morning, and I would turn on my computer and start trying to solve some problems from the previous day on writing software. So if I had a bug in my program, for example, that's the first thing I'd go dive into and try to do. I enjoyed being able to help people as well. So a lot of the things I did back then were supporting software that I had already written, and also the software that I was currently working on. And so that kept me really busy. Later, I took over the networking part of it, and so a lot of it dealt with designing networks when I came in, and then also experimenting with how it was going to work, setting up labs so I could test the communication between different machines to make sure that they were working well. And then also, once I became manager, I kind of directed all that. And I also did some programming and network engineering as well. Well, the first one, of course, was the invention of the PC. And the PC had been invented before I came here, but it wasn't in use yet in business. It was just starting to take off, and a lot of people didn't really understand what a computer could do for them. And so that was a big milestone, because we started converting people to desktop personal computers rather than terminals from a mainframe computer. And my job was to get people excited on what they could do for them and how they could use them. The second milestone was the invention of the World Wide Web. The World Wide Web made it so that the average user could go in and start using that internet a lot easier and a lot more, I guess it was a lot more exciting for them. Of course, it was really slow back then because we didn't have the speeds that we have now, and so it was kind of cumbersome to use still. And then the third thing, I think, is kind of the revolution and migration or implementation of mobile devices and being mobile just about anywhere. I kind of started working here before cell phones were even available. Well, for the city, the utility billing program that I designed and wrote for the city of Orem was probably one of my most enjoyable projects. This was really the first application that was completely interactive for the user, and then also it allowed them to see where the accounts were in real time. Whereas before they had to look on printed reports, or the data was usually about a week old or so forth. So this was a real-time view into those accounts. I think the first year that they implemented my program, I was really excited because my boss told me that it had saved them $600,000 that first year. That was really, really exciting for me, and it gave me a big sense of accomplishment to be able to see that. My favorite part is probably the people. I mean, when you walk around all the different departments, from public works and a treatment plant and fire department and police department, and just the relationships that I build with a lot of people that are, really smart at everything they do, and being able to interact with them and being able to build those relationships. I think that's probably some of my favorite parts.